Nowadays, everyone's all about the Justice League, They have a space station up, like, but back in the old days, they were just the Justice League of America. They didn't really care about any other country. And so they left all the rest of us nations to fend for ourselves. Come me and my other, proletariat friends. We started our own league. We are the Communist League. And those were the good old days. We were organized over in Liverpool. I was sort of the head honcho of that league since I was mainly organized it. The Justice League was all about punching people and justice, but we focused on infrastructure. Our motto was equality for all. I was actually the bearded Avenger, as you can see, since I've always had this magnificent hair. But I digress. I'd always shout, working men of all countries, unite! And then they would, come to my aid. We actually had little receivers in the rings when they hit and they got an alert. We usually, since we were, mainly building roads and spreading propaganda, we didn't really need to unite, but if we ever did, if there was ever any actual supervillains, let me tell you. Actually, now that I think of it, once we actually started getting rolling and getting some, steam to our movement, we actually encountered some resistance. They weren't like supervillain level resistance like the Joker or, Brainiac. It was more like neighborhood watch organization. They were called the Bourgeois. But let me tell you, they were every bit as evil as any supervillain out there. They're all these country club aristocrats with their silken ties and their golf games, and they did not want equality. They frowned upon that, and they thought others would ruin their neighborhood. That's why they had the fences up in the country clubs, and they're kind of dicks. There's always this kind of unspoken, class system. It's not like in medieval times where we had titles. Instead of titles, we have, what's your yearly salary, Janet? Ew, it's I can't even count, there's too many zeros. And then you have your minimum wage, peon, and we were really for the peon side. We were tired of the unfair spread of wealth, so we were trying and getting movements for a more equal society. But the bourgeois, since they are the cream of the crop, they didn't want to give anything up. Superhero weaknesses, I guess as for the Communist League, our weakness was wage slavery and, capitalism with conscious disparity between classes. But I guess I'd have to say my personal weakness would be a razor, since I was the bearded Avenger. If they cut off my beard, everyone would know who I was, and I'd probably get some threatening emails or letters. Particularly if they could lace that razor with capitalism. I don't know if they have that technology, because I'm just an everyday working man, but the bourgeois with their R&D developments, I'm sure that they could. They throw enough money at it and they could do it. Yeah, I'm homeless. America, capitalism, me, communism. What did you expect? You wanna know about superpowers? This is the real world. I guess I had super writing. The bearded Avenger definitely had some super writing abilities. Have you heard of the Communist Manifesto? I bet you have. I wrote that puppy. That was a crowning achievement for the Communist League. I think it's the beard. I mean, when I was clean shaven, I was just a slave. I think it's because of the beard they confused me as Santa Claus. Or maybe a grandpa. They flocked. Once I grew this, they flocked to our cause. I became a symbol. Not just a man. I become a symbol for people to rally behind. The bearded Avenger became a Superman.
Hey! What in the world? What are you doing here? This is private property! Get out of here!